In our top stories tonight, police blames corruption on middlemen, launches anti-corruption signposts. Lukwago holds acquisition of land meant for a waste management facility. Northern Uganda MPs irked by Ministry of Works directive to close Karamoja Bridge. And NRM party receives 200 defectors from NUP, FDC and DP. Good evening once again. The police have attributed the high cases of corruption to middlemen who cheat unsuspecting Ugandans, but in the long run, Ugandans blame the police for it. This has been disclosed by the Commissioner of Police and also Commander, Kampala Metropolitan Police, Ichega Richard, at the launch of anti-corruption signposts at Central Police Station in Kampala. We have more.
The Inspectorate of Government has launched anti-corruption signposts to enhance transparency and accountability.
The launch of the anti-corruption billboards, it's a merely procedural step, and it's also an opportunity for us to make a profound statement of our dedication towards transparency, towards integrity, and also towards
public image.
The other person will go, okay, I have talked to the commander, in fact, he wants 100 million. Now, at the end, the person who's aggrieved knows Commander KMP has taken money. And this person has gone to Commander KMP, has not even talked about any money. So, when we eliminate the so-called middlemen, the bakayungirizi, I think this issue of corruption will not be there.
And this is how the situational reports would happen on the roadside. The officer wants this, so you prepare it and take it to. Where is the money for the officer? And it becomes like business, a normal norm or practice. So I think if we avoid the middlemen, like Commander has said, I think we'll go a long way in improving in our service delivery.
These signposts, located in Kabalagala, Katwe and at Central Police Station, will serve as daily reminders to both the public and government officials of the ongoing battle against corruption. The creation of a professional standards unit in the police was highlighted as a key effort to uphold moral standards and prevent corruption in police stations. This launch is part of the Inspectorate of Government's efforts to fight corruption and ensure accountability in all sectors of Uganda's government. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Kampala Lord Mayor, Erias Lukwago, has issued a directive that the process of acquisition of an alternative land for establishment of a waste management facility be halted until the City Executive Committee is furnished with a progressive comprehensive report. His directive comes amid concerns of
Mbazi, the Deputy Executive Director KCCA, pins the delay in the procurement process to prior critical research and technicalities involved to fit the required terms.
So that process has taken longer, but we are coming to the end. I think the team was doing site visits this week. So we hope that by early next week, we should have a final submission to Contracts Committee and a decision shared with the public.
The Deputy Executive Director KCCA, however, in response has objected to this directive ruling to no valid reason to prevent them from acquiring the funded land.
Acquisition of land can only be cancelled for a lack of money or if there is a change in user requirements, which are now defined by the user party.
Government is taking the matter very jokingly and in a very reluctant manner. And yesterday we were surprised seeing Honorable Minister Katumba Wamala also going to Karuma and giving 3 months. You know, right now government is becoming totally confused.
The bridge that connects the north to central Uganda is expected to undergo renovation for 3 months.
I'm telling you, the closure of Karuma have subjected our people into total suffering. Many of the bus owners have parked their buses, aware that they are on loan.
NRM Secretary General Richard Todwong has received over 200 converts who have denounced the National Unity Platform, Forum for Democratic Change and the Democratic Party and other opposition parties to join the Yellow Camp. The defectors are drawn from the districts of Rubaga, Luka, Mubende and Pakwach.
These are declarations of over 200 supporters from the opposition parties who have defected to the National Resistance Movement Party. They have gathered at the NRM party offices along Kyadon Road in Kampala for an official reception by the NRM Secretary General, Right Honourable Richard Todwong.
Today we thank you for coming to NRM. I receive you wholeheartedly in NRM. I said I will sing for you. I have decided to follow movement. I have decided to follow movement.
The Rubaga defectors and others were mobilized by A1 Abdallah Chitata and others.
I changed my mind to FDC, so I decided even to come back to my former party.
Nkomyewo ku system eringa bwe yali kunono nkomyewo nsomesa abavubuka njogere nabo tulabike nga tuyininga emitima gyabwe n'okubaza era Kampala tejja kubeera nga luli bagizanyiramu luli nga tetuliiwo.
To most of them, they have been living in total darkness and are glad to see the light.
As we youth from Rubaga, we've been yearning to see you and to join NRM.
We have brought young people who have been disturbing the movement. They have all signed, willingly signed.
We are excited, we are happy, and we congratulate them. And we call upon those who are still out there to come and join hands and we build our country together.
Todwong was flanked by directors Emmanuel Dombo, Rosemary Nanso Bugaseninde and Hajat Medina Nehab.
As we speak, if we can be able to fish some of these young people and they openly and willingly decide to join the NRM party, I think to us is a great hope.
We came to address people's needs. So that is the difference between NRM and other political organizations. So when people come to join us, we begin by educating them on what NRM stands for.
The whole of my calendar for this month and next month, I'm sure I'm just going to move around receiving new people coming to join the NRM. It's a big vote of confidence in NRM in the sense that they do appreciate, especially when you talk about peace and security, everybody can attest to that. When you talk about good road networks in the districts, in the countryside, everybody can attest to that.
Although they have received a sincere welcome, the fresh members are however reminded about towing towards the party principles and values.
Now, what this means to us as NRM is to ensure that we continue doing what the youth expect out of us. But not only doing what they expect, but also to actually make them understand what the ideology of NRM is.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Major General Don Nabasa, the commander of the 3rd Division, has emphasized the commitment of the joint forces to addressing insecurity and livestock theft in the Karamoja sub-region. Nabasa has been actively commanding the operations in efforts to address insecurity and livestock theft in the Karamoja sub-region.
The Usalama kwa Wote operation in the Karamoja sub-region has been a huge success with thousands of guns and ammunition recovered. This operation has been a significant milestone in the efforts to pacify the region and end cattle rustling.
Disarmament operations Usalama kwa Wote was launched in July 2021. To date, a total of 1,170 firearms have been recovered, with 9,217 rounds of ammunition. The substantial retrieval of arms has significantly weakened the operational capacity of the livestock rustlers.
UPDF and other security agencies have recovered a substantial number of guns, and a total of 53,253 livestock have been recovered in the efforts to address livestock theft in the Karamoja sub-region.
Livestock route management, there is regulating of livestock movements. The mobile squad supervises 25 checkpoints. I know as you came, you saw some checkpoints along the inlet and exit routes to Karamoja, which comprises of ASTRU, and some have joint deployments.
1,170. Ammunition recovered 9,217. Livestock recovered 53,253. Warriors arrested 29,321. Warriors prosecuted 2,091.
The operation has also led to the arrest of 29,321 warriors and the recovery of other illegal guns and ammunitions. The recovery of these guns is a significant milestone towards ending livestock theft in the Karamoja sub-region.
To restore sanity in this area, it's a concerted effort by all the security forces, including Uganda Police, ASTU and Territorial Police, including ISO, including Wildlife Authority, and all other key players.
The success of this operation is a testament to the hard work and dedication of the security forces and local community in ensuring peace and security in the region. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
The Parliamentary Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development, together with the Parliamentary Forum for Children and civil society organizations, are calling on the government to make an inclusive children's budget for the 2025-26 financial year. Critical issues affecting children such as education, health and nutrition were discussed at a crucial conference in Kampala.
Society organizations have cited an inadequacy of health workers and teachers, especially for the children at refugee camps, where the pressure on social services is becoming overwhelming. They call upon government's inclusion of children in the financial year 2025-2026 budget.
Uganda is the highest refugee hosting country in the world, and we got to know sometime in April this year that we now have about 1 million refugee children in the country. And these put pressure on the social services that are within the communities where they are. The schools there, in the communities where they are overwhelmed. We are saying that in the budget that is coming up of 2025-2026, that as government puts this in place, they help address issues of staffing, to help also bring the health services closer to address issues of malnutrition with children in these areas.
There was a call for the operationalization of early childhood learning policy and the provision of free education at pre-primary level.
I'm tired of talking about it as existing because it is creating discrimination amongst children. If the Education Act of 2008 specifies that education in Uganda will begin from preschool, primary, secondary and tertiary, how are we fronting free and universal education at primary and not free education for nursery? Are we truthful to the children?
CSOs also emphasized the need for government to address the skyrocketing education fees, which continue to burden parents and impact learners.
We would want government at least to rein in and keep abreast and in touch of the realities on ground to ensure that this education cost doesn't skyrocket, because we appreciate the value that education has right from the foundation of a child. So this is something that we want government to keep in check, at least in the next planning and budgeting process for 2025-2026.
With over 1 million refugee children, the call for the employment of more health workers and teachers has become urgent. Marion Awori for UBC.
UBC News tonight. Now, government has updated Parliament on the progress of the Capitation grants as per the financial year 2024-2025. A total of 158 local governments have been cleared by the Ministry of Education and Sports to release the funds for Capitation grants, and the rest will be relieved by the end of September 2024. Now, this follows a technology challenge which includes registering the students online using the Education Management Information System. The Minister of State for Primary Education, Joyce Moriko Kaduchu, told Parliament on the progress.
Kalungu West Member of Parliament, Joseph Seungu Gonzaga, asked that Parliament is updated on the status of the Capitation grants as schools open for third term.
And what's happening? Members of Parliament are called by head teachers to give them assistance to buy boxes of chalk, red pens and blue pens. So where are we heading?
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, then asked the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to act accordingly.
Right Honourable Speaker, the total approved budget for the Capitation grants for financial year 2024-25 is Uganda shillings 490.298 billion.
The Minister of State for Finance, in charge of general duties, Henry Musasizi, told Parliament of the 163.433 billion so far released in the first quarter for the Capitation grants. According to Musasizi, the Minister of Education and Sports in July 2024 directed that the distribution of the funds be halted as schools complete the validation exercise.
And the Ministry intends to ensure that enrollment numbers are not inflated. Mr. Speaker, sir, based on the information from Ministry of Education and Sports, 113 local governments have to date been cleared to transfer the Capitation grants to the respective institutions, and the remaining have been reminded to submit their validated enrollments.
This was acknowledged by the Minister of State for Primary Education, Joyce Kaduchu Moriko.
The remaining local governments that have not submitted their verification document, which is head count, those ones will be submitted as soon as we receive the document.
Minister Moriko assures that by 30th September 2024, all local governments will be in position to release the funds after government settles the challenge imposed in the Education Management Information System.
We will continue to sensitize the public, the head teachers and the district on the importance of data for planning, data for using, utilizing and planning for our finances. Mr. Speaker, there are challenges in primary schools in terms of managing the database, in terms of entering the names of the learners into the software. But we are continuing to sensitize and to improve on collecting this data. I commit that all will be well before 30th September. I beg to submit.
Thank you. This is
in a recent address by the Minister of Education and Sports, a total number of 12,512 UPE and 1,268 secondary schools across different local governments were registered for this financial year 2024-2025. The grants include the 20,000 shillings for each pupil in UPE school and 58,000 per student in ordinary level USE. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Encroachers are pushing the 200-kilometer Mpanga River towards extinction. They are dumping soil and backfilling its course, encroaching on the floodplain. These human activities have reduced the once mighty river to a mere stream. However, in Toro Kingdom, cultural traditions are playing a vital role in conserving the environment and safeguarding the river.
Culture is a dynamic aspect that is linked to ecosystem because in the Interlacustrine region, culture and norms in all the kingdoms have a direct linkage to the environment. There is conservation of rocks, rivers, swamps and hilltops. Toro Kingdom Omkama Dr. Oyo Nyimba Kabambe Iguru Rukidi IV launched Conserve River Mpanga initiative on Tuesday, the 11th of September 2019, as part of the 24th coronation anniversary. So, saving River Mpanga from destruction has become Toro Kingdom strategic plan. River Mpanga, a 200-kilometer-long river, starts from Karangwa at the slopes of Mount Rwenzori. It meanders through Kabarole district and pours its waters into Lake George. A close look at the river along Mpanga Market and around Buhinga Stadium shows traces of garbage, broken bottles and glass, backfilling and encroachment.
Class 1 river on the 7th schedule of the National Environment Act, and it is important that we protect this river because it sustains thousands of lives, and we also generate power from this same river, and it is important that the its catchment area is protected so that siltation and erosion are controlled. Unfortunately, there's a lot of encroachment going on in this part of the stream, which is the midstream, and we're grateful that Rukirabasejo Mkama of Toro has prioritized River Mpanga as one of the natural ecosystems that is worth being protected for the good of the current and future generations.
The first job that I've been given was to make sure that I have not just preserved River Mpanga, but also to move it more on the tourism path.
The Directorate of Environment in Toro Kingdom visited the affected sites. At the same time, King Oyo Nyimba Kabambe Iguru Rukidi IV launched the Conserve River Mpanga strategy to save the 200-kilometer river meander from extinction.
This one is not preserved, protected, and people build in such a wetlands is what you see in Kampala, where water finds people in their bedrooms. So in this context, for us in the municipality and Toro Kingdom, we have decided nobody should build in the wetland.
Under the conservation initiative, Toro Kingdom will have strategies to collect all biodegradable waste into incinerators and put up waste bins for plastic bottles and glass. Toro Kingdom has stopped all activity along the river to protect the riverbanks. And in Fort Portal Tourism City, Toro Kingdom insists that nature is Toro Kingdom's wealth.
We are God-given presents. We're God-given natures. We're God-given presents. I think, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, when Churchill must have reached Fort Portal when he said the verb of this is the pearl of Africa. I really think he must have been standing in Kibale. I looked at this side and saw the crater lake, looked on this side and saw another crater lake, and poor man, he must have been completely overwhelmed.
River Mpanga is Toro Kingdom's pride and would enhance cultural tourism. River Mpanga is one of the resources besides Muchwa Hall or Rukurato, Karuzika, the Omkama's palace, Karambi royal tombs, Amabere Ganyiramuiru stalactites and stalagmites at Nyakasura that peg onto the culture of Toro Kingdom. Environmental conservation, therefore, is part of initiatives to boost the tourism industry, which has become a major activity in the Western District of Kabarole.
All right, now more news this evening. The Equal Opportunities Commission has urged the government to develop a comprehensive school fees policy to ensure an accessible education system for all Ugandans. This follows a report by the Commission highlighting that schools including universal primary education, universal secondary education, and private institutions are charging high fees, preventing financially disadvantaged families from providing education for their children.
The Ugandan government introduced Universal Primary Education (UPE) and Universal Secondary Education (USE) to eliminate monetary barriers for all children attending public schools and to ensure higher enrollment. However, despite the policy's intent, many UPE and USE schools continue to charge high fees, limiting access to education for many children.
The Commission collected like I've already said, on school fees from 212 schools in 60 districts. The study revealed that money charged by the selected UPE schools ranged between 2,235 Uganda shillings to 172,600 Uganda shillings. Many students from low-income families attend school irregularly because their parents cannot consistently afford to pay tuition or other mandatory fees.
According to a report by the Equal Opportunities Commission, following a nationwide study assessing fee structures in both government and private schools, it was found that vulnerable groups are significantly impacted by high fees. The Western region leads in levying high fees for UPE, with central regions following closely in charging excessive school fees.
An impact on gender disparities, where girls are disproportionately affected by higher school fees. Normally, in times of financial difficulty, families often prioritize boys' education over girls, and this leads to early marriages or domestic responsibilities for girls and further widening gender gaps in education. So the analysis reveals significant regional variations in school fees, where the Western region has the highest average fees, substantially above the overall average.
The report points out several contributing factors to the high fees, including limited capitation funds, teachers not on the payroll, and the late release of government funds.
Although education is supposed to be free, we know that the government does not cover meals and paying for books. Parents are therefore entitled to contribute towards the provision of lunch and breakfast for their children. Schools often employ teachers who are not listed on the government payroll, since the government only pays a set number of teachers per school. Schools said that they needed to cover operational costs like water, electricity, and sometimes teachers' allowances.
In light of these findings, the Commission has called upon the government to formulate a school fees policy, among other measures, to ensure an equitable education system for all Ugandans.
The Commission is appealing to government to double the capitation grant for both UPE and USC schools if parents are not to be charged any. The policy should define what fees are permissible, including tuition, examination fees, and other charges.
As Equal Opportunities Commission, it's our mandate to make sure that, as on Monday children we are done back to school. So those ones that have not returned to school because of the nature of the issues that we've mentioned here, should they stay home? So we are going to keep pushing. We are going to make sure that we again visit the ministry and share with them this report and have further discussions.
It is worth noting that last year, the Speaker of Parliament, Anta Mong, also advocated for the establishment of a policy to legislate school fees across Uganda. With the release of this report, will that call be acted upon? Rebecca Natongo, Susan Inabugude, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return after these messages. Don't move an inch.
Yellow, this is MTN. We are currently in Nakaloke, Mbale District, Bilari, Nursery and Primary School. We are here to award a winner, and our winner happens to be Mubaraka Hadija.
Naine mukwano gwange ne mugamba konti aba MTN bankubidde esimu ne bangamba nsasudde school fees era ndi muwanguzi. Nadamu nangamba ati aba bafere. Nze ne mugamba nti naye wabanga bafere. Bangambe bagenda kujja school fees wange bamuleete. Kandi ndo olunaku olwo banaaba baleeta school fees awo ndyoke nzikirize nti si bafere. Abazadde abali eyo mbagamba beeyongere okukozesa MTN Momo okusasula school fees w'abaana baabwe bajja kuba bawanguzi nga nange weempangudde olunaku lwa leero.
Abantu bawangula *165*80# osasule school fees. Kozesa ne Momo app osasule school fees.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Hey kids, we're going to count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enjoy 5 ways to love your baby, smoothen and protect your baby's skin with 5 new gentle formulations. Original to nurture your baby, aloe vera to protect your chibubu skin. Cocoa butter to comfort your pinku, mild scent to soothe your little one, and avocado to soften your bunju skin. Available in all supermarkets, retail shops, and cosmetics shops near you. Move it, baby jelly. All day confidence.
To help businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19, government introduced a tax amnesty through a waiver of interest and penalty on outstanding principal tax as at June 30th, 2023. Accordingly, URA has since July 2024 been implementing this waiver. To benefit, simply pay your outstanding principal tax by December 31st, 2024, and the waiver is applied automatically upon payment confirmation. This amnesty applies to domestic taxes, namely income tax, rental tax, payee, and others. Grab this golden opportunity today. For more, use the platforms displayed.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Welcome back. The Uganda Heart Institute is making significant strides in advancing cardiovascular care, particularly with the integration of cardiac magnetic resonance imaging scan. MRI, which provides more detailed images of the heart, is making it easier for specialists to diagnose and treat heart conditions more accurately. We have more details.
The cardiac MRI is a groundbreaking tool designed to enhance cardiac diagnosis by providing clearer insights into heart diseases that were previously difficult to detect. Medical experts believe this technology will significantly improve the treatment of heart-related conditions.
So MRI has better resolution. It looks at the body, in a much better way than other imaging modalities. So it's better than the ultrasound. It's better than the X-ray, it's better than the CT scan, so it's up there with the best ways of looking at the heart body, or rather looking at the body. Now we are trying to bring that into diagnosing heart diseases.
The Uganda Heart Institute is now leveraging cardiac MRI technology to improve the capacity of cardiologists and enhance diagnosis throughout the country.
Initiating cardiac MRI services here in Uganda. Most of the equipment we need is here, most of the expertise we need is here, and we're hoping to catalyze, along with the help of our Uganda colleagues, a service that is helpful clinically here, one that is sustainable in this clinical situation.
It's a step forward in the advancement of the care of patients with cardiac disease in Uganda. It's an expensive resource, and we've had the privilege of being able to be sponsored by people like Siemens, people like Uganda Heart Institute, the Ministry of Health have been very supportive in us starting this project. And
the cardiac MRI scan has also been instrumental in detecting the underlying causes of heart diseases, giving a clearer understanding of these conditions.
Sometimes it helps to tell you the origin of the disease. For example, if the heart disease is genetic, it's passed on from family to family, you can actually pick some of that with the cardiac MRI. And therefore, what that means is that other people from that family can also have a cardiac MRI, and they can benefit from preventive therapies.
But there are other heart conditions that can cause the heart to thicken, and MRI is the best test to differentiate between the several different causes of a thick heart. So you use not only MRI, you use ECG, you echo, the history, family history, they all help. And in some cases, even if they've got hypertension, there's a second cause that MRI can help you to determine.
With cardiovascular diseases becoming an escalating concern worldwide, these advancements are a timely solution aimed at reducing the need for Ugandans to seek expensive and complex heart treatments abroad, while improving local healthcare services. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Proprietors in the cosmetics industry are advocating for the National Drug Authority to regulate beauty products with pharmaceutical properties rather than the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. This issue was raised during a consultative meeting between the Ministry of Trade and stakeholders in the personal and healthcare products sector.
Currently, Uganda imports cosmetic products valued at around $103 million annually, and the business employs approximately 30,000 Ugandans. The Minister of Trade believes that streamlining this sector by strong regulations could boost Uganda's export capacity and help stamp out counterfeits.
And this time we are looking at health and personal care products, which we call cosmetics. Cosmetics, we are importing 20 billion worth in Africa of cosmetics. In Uganda here alone, we are importing $108 million. But because of this support by different companies, we have started repressing these imports. And as we speak now, we have import replacement of around $13 million, and we're exporting $17 million. We also, the cosmetics companies are employing 30,000 Ugandans. So the reason for meeting them was to, one, to appreciate their contribution to the economy, second, to get progress within the sector, and also to listen to their challenges.
Stakeholders are pushing for a review that would transfer the regulation of pharmaceutical-related beauty products to the NDA.
Some of the challenges they have raised include the new law about health products being regulated by DNA instead of UNBS. They have also raised issues of taxes. They have raised issues of allowing imports in the country which are fake. And all these are the issues that we shall continue to discuss and follow up.
The cosmetics industry involves the production, distribution and sale of beauty and personal care products such as skincare, makeup, hair care and fragrances.
The second issue we have been talking about and discussing is the digital conformity mark, which is affecting our sector to such an extent that the costs of certification have in some instances gone beyond 200 or 300%, depending on how you calculate. The third element we have been discussing is about the business environment in the country and the cost of production in the country, and trying to see how we can ensure that we do more import substitution.
As new brands increasingly enter the market, the Trade Ministry is working with stakeholders to leverage the sector's economic potential while maintaining high product quality. Crispus, Ainitwe, UBC News.
State House Anti-Corruption Unit have arrested 2 people for defrauding an American entrepreneur of property and cash worth 2 billion shillings. The duo was arraigned before Jinja Grade 1 Magistrate Yafesi Ocheng, who remanded them to Jinja Main Prison, Chirinya, until the 7th of October 2024.
The 62-year-old Bogere Stephen, with his co-accused Wycliffe Ntende John, appeared before Jinja Grade 1 Magistrate Yafesi Ocheng following their arrest by State House Anti-Corruption Unit in collaboration with CID officers. The duo is facing 3 counts, including theft of property and conspiracy to commit a felony. They both pleaded not guilty and were consequently remanded to Jinja Main Prison, Chirinya, until October 7th.
In the month of July 2024, at Masese Ward, Jinja City stole household items worth 50 million, the property of Crown Scott Eric.
It is alleged that in November 2022, Wycliffe Ntende got in touch with an American national named Eric Scott Cran and started working for him as a dog handler. They developed a strong relationship and Cran started entrusting Wycliffe with large sums of money in his bank account and mobile money. Subsequently, Cran would purchase properties such as motor vehicles and land through Ntende. However, the accused quietly sold them off in collaboration with his co-accused.
2 and others who are still at large that police is trying to find conspired and stole property from an American national who had come to settle and invest here in Jinja. Among the property that they stole included vehicles, household properties, land, which are worth over 2 billion shillings.
Now, agriculture accounts for 50% of exports in Uganda and continues to be the largest employer. However, the same industry is comprised of mainly subsistence or smallholder farmers. It's upon this background that Kenneth Gadia, a farmer who gave up on being a CEO in 2020 and opted to do agriculture, calls upon Ugandans, most especially the youth, to embrace farming. He says that there are several benefits in engaging in agriculture, citing tax exemption as one of them. Kenneth employs 15 permanent and 20 casual laborers at his farm in Busu Village, Mayuge district.
After the unfortunate loss of his father in 2020, Kenneth Gadia was left with the responsibility of taking care of the home as the eldest son. He had to give up on his events company to carry on the father's legacy. Kenneth encourages the youth to join him.
To do agriculture as a business, because we as the youth are the ones who have the knowledge and the techniques and the creativity to apply on the farms in different parts.
Having embraced commercial agriculture, in 3 years, his farm brings to the market 120 trays of eggs daily, selling each tray at 10,000 shillings. 40 liters of milk every day. Every liter of milk costs 1,400 shillings. 200 bunches of bananas every month. Each bunch costs 10,000 shillings. 300 kilograms of cocoa every month. Each kilogram of cocoa costs 20,000 shillings. They also sell 380 trees every year. Each tree costs 30,000 shillings.
There's money in agriculture. You can either be rearing animals, you can do crops, you can do a lot of things. You can be creative and put things in the market, because agriculture is one of the things that are not taxed. I guarantee you that if you're consistent and you persist and make it a plan A, don't have a plan B, and go into agriculture, you will not regret.
Kenneth emphasizes the importance of perennial crops.
It's crops like this, coffee, cocoa. These you can reap money from. These are not affected mostly by the season. You will be reaping money every time. Even when it's a dry season, you will have maybe one or two. You won't go without getting some money.
He also talks about how they overcome the challenges the farm meets.
You look out and YouTube and check out how other farms are doing it. There are disadvantages. You learn from other people, and you also improve your part. Yeah.
Kenneth advises farmers to also use information on the internet to optimize yields. Priscilla Namara reporting.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Where does it come from? That thing
that makes us Ugandan. Some say it's in our history, in our culture, and in our hearts, in our warm smiles and vast miles of coffee. It's in our inherent pursuit to always be better, to never stop growing and glowing. We are a nation of sweat and skills, a nation of ideas and inventions. But what truly makes us Ugandan is our quest to invest in agribusiness, manufacturing, tourism, infrastructure, health and education to improve the quality of life of Ugandans. That's what makes us Uganda Development Bank. Uganda Development Bank, inspiring development.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
The Ministry of Health informs the general public that there are some cases of Mpox detected in Uganda. The ministry, working with partners and affected district local governments, are doing their best to contain the situation. The signs and symptoms of Mpox are body rash, fever, general body weakness, headache, sore throat, nasal congestion or cough, and swollen lymph nodes. You can prevent yourself from getting infected with Mpox by avoiding close contact with people who have been confirmed to have Mpox or who have signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding touching or sharing personal items like beddings, eating utensils, phones, or other belongings of a person who has the signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding contact, including eating, with all wild animals, alive or dead, especially those known to carry the virus, such as rodents and monkeys, and those that appear sick or have been found dead. Getting vaccinated if you're among those who have been identified to be at high risk of Mpox infection. Mpox is treatable and usually goes away after 2 to 4 weeks. However, it can be severe, causing even death, especially among children, pregnant women, and those with other health conditions. For more information and support, contact your nearest health worker. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line on 0800 100 066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500.
Uganda Manufacturers Association celebrates 30 years of industrial excellence. Come and be part of the 30th UMA International Trade Fair at Lugogo from the 2nd to the 10th of October. We celebrate 30 years of industrial excellence with an education pavilion, an agricultural pavilion, and a job skills development pavilion for job seekers. There will be lots of fun, entertainment, and business opportunities. Come and be part of this great journey and milestones. Entrance fee is only 10,000 shillings. If you want an exhibition stall, call +256 0703 552 444 or visit the UMA website, powered by Total Energies, Hisense, Smart Tech, and Stanbic Bank.
Welcome back. And now onto the business scene. The Commissioner for Cooperatives at the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Robert Mpakibi, applauded the Uganda Federation of Malgwamko's Community Credit Cooperatives, UFCC, accountability and professionalism in extending financial services to rural communities. Andrew Chepa, Chief Executive Officer, Uganda Federation of Malgwamko's Community Credit Cooperatives, asserts that membership loan portfolio recovery has improved and implemented a computerized core banking system, providing user training which position the Federation for a brighter future.
The Uganda Federation of Maugumgos Community Credit Cooperatives has convened its second annual General Assembly at its headquarters in Buama-Mpigi district. The federation, with the 18 Maugumgos or village banks, continues to make great strides in rural financial inclusion, as the Federation Board Chairperson Samuel Mavubirizi showcased significant achievements during the 2024 financial year, including the construction of the Federation's head office, participation in global cooperative activities, and growth in the Central Financial Facility Fund.
When you compare the MG assets with the previous year and this year, we are seeing a very big increase in terms of socio-economic transformation in our MGs.
These accomplishments, Dora Nakazibwe, UFCC Director of Finance, noted are a testament to Uganda Federation of Community Credit Cooperatives' commitment to fostering financial sustainability and community development, with focus on growing institutional capital to further empower rural communities.
We've resolved that each and every MG, they start up a welfare fund whereby each member has to contribute a small amount of money, at least monthly, and that helps us to build our social capital.
The Assistant Commissioner for Cooperatives acknowledged the rapid growth of the Samagumgo initiative in Uganda, commending the Federation's effort in mobilizing and training communities in financial literacy, which has led to sustainable social and economic transformation. The new project manager of Korean Federation of Maugumgo Credit Community Cooperatives, Jacob Kwon, expressed his admiration for the Federation's economic growth rural communities in the country.
Uganda and MG, they are alike. It's fundamentally the same. And for 60 years in Korean MGs have been doing really good, we made really good results. And Ugandan MG also has same aspect. This is gonna be the best cooperative in whole Africa.
The Federation leadership revealed a significant rise in membership across the outstanding 16 Maugumgos, with increases in share capital, savings, and members benefiting from social enterprises that are boosting daily incomes.
Share capital should be implemented as a member, as a must, and savings and even welfare program should be organized fully by each member of UFCC.
With the strong foundations laid by the Uganda Federation of Maugumgos Community Credit Cooperatives, rural financial inclusion is set to continue growing, empowering communities and driving sustainable development in Uganda. Sudat Kaye and Robert Whiter, UBC News.
The Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development is organizing the Pan-African Business Forum Uganda, scheduled to take place in Munyonyo from the 6th of October till the 12th. The forum aims to highlight the urgent need to strengthen trade relations between East Africa and the USA.
The inaugural 2024 Pan-African Congress Business Forum Uganda seeks to provide the African diaspora with a home and a platform to develop a strategy for Uganda and the continent, fostering socio-economic integration and promoting trade, investment, research and advanced technologies.
We have had in March 2023, March or May, we did a training of some export companies. And so we began to have some targets on this market. And we feel strongly that the work done there should not be left hanging. That's why this event happens.
As of 2021, the USA is the world's largest consumer market, with over $18 trillion recorded in consumer spending. PASAID, led by Audrey Krabogo, aims to leverage this trend by enabling Ugandan entrepreneurs to enhance both the quality and quantity of production in key sectors such as agriculture and tourism.
We export more than 13 products: coffee, tea, beef, dairy. But the US focuses, when you look at our export numbers, it's coffee, it's casein, it's vanilla, it's some fish, it's minerals, several other things. But we're insisting not just simply people in those sectors. We want edutech, people who invest in education for training. Health tech, people who invest in long-distance medicine training.
Despite Uganda's suspension from AGOA effective January 1st, 2024, PASAID, in collaboration with the government, is employing a trade representatives approach to sustain and grow market penetration in the US, while negotiations for reinstatement.
We began with the work of trade representation. The President of Uganda was hosted in Chicago, and that began the process for a couple of events we've done there. Those events we've done in Detroit. I think we had Detroit people come here.
Trade representatives are our key contacts in the market in the US. In the US, we have two trade representatives. We have Cody Lance, who is basically in Illinois. Then we have Dr. Olivier Kamanzi, who is in Chicago. These are our key contacts in terms of attracting the right people and promoting this event in the US.
Progress. This event is expected to facilitate an increase in Uganda's exports by $10 billion by the year 2030. Wadulo Mark Arnold for UBC News in Kampala.
To prepare, just 3 minutes and they're ready. You can have them anywhere.
Indomie instant noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie instant noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda.
Indomie instant noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
Namunkekera Agro-Processing Industries Limited, NAPIL, presents the Namunkekera Liaoshen Industrial Park Trade Show and Bazaar under the theme Celebrating Local and Foreign Investment on Friday 27th to Saturday 28th September 2024 at Kapeka Industrial Park starting at 9 a.m. Entrance is free. Are you a business person, school, or consumer of authentic Ugandan products? Don't miss this chance for incredible discounts on premium items like ceramic tiles, electricals, garments, shoes, bags, TVs, agricultural tools, dried mangoes, and pineapples. Guests of honor are Minister for Investment, Honorable Evelyn Anite, and the Chief Coordinator Operation Wealth Creation, General Salim Saleh. Come and enjoy Uganda's top artists. Would you like to exhibit? Call 0783-293-348 or 0757-896-914. Kapeka, the center for all your quality products.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Culture Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Agent for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. The guest of honor will be the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096 100 or +254 795 806 969. Visit www.eauktourismexpo.com to register.
And now on to sports. The second edition of the Joshua Cheptegei Mount Elgon Marathon is set to take place in Mbale on the 2nd of November 2024. This year's event is dedicated to combating gender-based violence and addressing climate change.
Joshua Cheptegei Mount Elgon Marathon is set to attract hundreds of athletes and fans with the sole purpose of raising awareness about gender-based violence and tackling climate change, particularly in the eastern region.
We must bring our efforts together to fight in the fight for a better and more conducive environment. Playing with nature is playing with our own well-being.
Relating to gender-based violence, Emma Cherukut, the district woman MP, emphasized that this time has come for men to step up and avoid hurting women, as she cited the sad story of the late Ugandan Olympic runner, Rebecca Cheptegei.
Let's look for a humble way of getting money from your wife or fiancé, if need be, not by force, not by strangling. I know very many women out there, they have the money, they have the power of money, but the happiness is not there because of the money that has come into play, and the men feel they should be in charge of that in regard to the African tradition.
Honorable Erikut's words echo the broader message of the marathon, running with a purpose. The Paris 2024 Olympic gold medalist, Joshua Cheptegei, says the event aims to inspire positive change in society.
But conservation isn't just about the environment, it's about people. Through this marathon, we are promoting inclusivity, empowering our women and girls, and fostering a culture of respect. Let us run for the future.
Cheptegei's selflessness and commitment to his community have drawn praise from fans and supporters alike, with many applauding his efforts to bring critical issues to the forefront.
To Cheptegei, may the tailwinds always be your champion from takeoff to safe landings.
We will walk, and if we cannot walk, we will crawl, but we will finish the race. Congratulations.
The marathon is set to take place in Bale on November the 2nd, 2024. The launch in Kampala was embraced by the UNDP family and members of the diplomatic community and several sponsors, all standing in solidarity with the causes championed by the marathon. Mashomiro Victor, UBC News.
There you go, round of applause.
Thank you, Mashomiro. The Baby Victoria Pearls, Uganda's under-19 girls cricket team, was flagged off today for Rwanda, where they will take part in the 2025 ICC Under-19 Girls World Cup Africa qualifiers. The girls will battle 7 other countries for a slot to represent Africa at the 2025 ICC Under-19 Girls World Cup in Malaysia.
A team of 16 under-19 girls with notable names Ilona Anyait, Marisa Orio, Immaculate Nandela, Patricia Timonga and Captain Jimia Muhammad will represent Uganda at the 2025 ICC Under-19 Girls World Cup qualifiers to be played in Rwanda between the 20th and the 30th of September 2024. The team was flagged off this morning by NCS Administrator James Kasumba.
19 to go to Rwanda and participate in the World Cup qualification campaign.
We have a crop of very good players that were selected from various institutions, secondary schools. We've trained together for a month since the girls have been in holidays, and yeah, we're ready to compete against the best in Africa to qualify for that one slot that will take us to the World Cup.
Well, and we have played so many games, which I'm very confident that we shall go and display the best cricket ever in the tournament. With honor and respect, I am very glad and delighted to go and represent the country. I am very sure that we shall come back victorious and make Uganda proud.
The tournament has a total of 8 nations from Africa, and Uganda is in Group A alongside hosts Rwanda, Namibia and Kenya. Only the winners of the tournament will earn the right to represent Africa at the ICC Under-19 Girls World Cup in Malaysia next year. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Over 1,000 badminton players are expected to take part in this year's edition of East African City Tires Badminton Challenge that will be held between the 17th to the 20th of October 2024. The tournament, that is entering its 7th edition this year, is played by only East Africans and will be hosted by Uganda at the Lugogo Indoor Arena.
You ready?
At the launch of the 7th edition of the East African City Tires Badminton Challenge this morning at the City Tires offices in industrial area, the Uganda Badminton Association was keen to state that this year's edition will be bigger with about 10 categories, including under 10, under 15, professionals, corporates, and many others.
This tournament is very big, very big, because it has all the different categories of events, of players that we bring together. It has got the schools, that means development, that's the talent identification. It has got the universities, it has got the corporates, it has got the expatriates who are living in Uganda, it has got the nations, and of course this year we have added on the veterans. So it's a big tournament, and of course as I say, it brings people together from the region, where we have players coming from Kenya, Tanzania, from Rwanda, from Burundi, DR Congo, South Sudan, who participate in this tournament. So it's a big one, but for us, as host, we have now opened the registration, and you only need to scan that code which is there, which I have just told you. That scan that one. It's online. You scan it. You register whatever you want to do.
This year is also going to be the same, and it would be very nice for the athletes and more players to take part in this.
The sponsors are excited to support this event for the 7th year running and are promising a number of prizes for the winners, with professionals expected to get cash.
This is the 7th time we are on board, and again we pledge our support, full 100% support to this sport, because this is a sport that cuts across all ages. We thought in all these years we could help badminton grow in the country.
The East African City Tires Badminton Challenge is set for October 17th throughout to the 20th and will be played in Uganda at the Lugogo Indoor Arena.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company. Up next is Super Soul Sisters, and don't forget to watch the biggest show in the land, Behind the Headlines with Timothy Nyangweso. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto, and my colleague Yusuf Senyawo on Sign Language Interpretation. We wish you a good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't go.
You can now get all the Chibuzi